this, or pretending for this woman's sake that Roxanne's health was better than it was? How was it giving up to accept the reality that my sister was going to die? I heard the message loud and clear on that Sunday in the spring of 2013. There is no space for your grief here. There is no space for death. There is no room for your despair. The woman was okay with miracles. She was comfortable with optimism. She could make sense of one version of hope. But death? Not so much. I know she meant well and that she was only trying to protect me from the pain that my sister dying would cause me. Suggesting that the death might not happen was meant to uplift me. But in that moment, I needed space for a pain that wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. I needed to name the huge thing that was right in front of me, the thing that consumed all my waking thoughts and kept me up at night. I didn't need to be told to not give up. I didn't need to be told to have hope. I needed grieving room. In a culture of relentless optimism, I was learning that this space was going to be hard to find. In the days and years that followed, as my sister died, and then as I grieved, and then as I supported others who were grieving, I found that the need for grieving room was not unique to me, nor was the struggle to find it particularly rare. Grieving room is endangered in a culture that thinks it is more helpful to rush past grief than lean into it. The message a lot of grieving people hear is similar to that one statement I heard in a church lobby from someone who wanted to help me. Your sister is dying? Don't say that. Maybe you've heard it too in one form or another. Maybe you've shared with someone that you're feeling hopeless after a miscarriage, or that you are devastated by the death of your spouse, or that you don't know how to make sense of living as an orphan after losing both your parents. And some way or another, you've been told that your feelings aren't quite right. You should stay optimistic or be thankful for the time you had, or celebrate that they had a long life. Don't say that takes a lot of forms. You're sad that your loved one died. Everything happens for a reason. It's been a few months and you're still grieving. Perhaps it's time to move on. You're angry about the terrible things that happened to you. At least it wasn't any worse. Many of us simply don't know how to make room for grief. The truth was, I didn't know how to give this room either, not even to myself. I learned about grieving room as I grieved. I learned it at my sister's deathbed. I learned it on long nights of wailing for my sister and a life cut short. I learned it as I mourned for a person I loved in the months and years after she died. Through this, I discovered what it meant to give grieving room to others. My job as a pastor puts grieving people in my life all the time, and I see now what they most need is exactly what I did: space for their grief. I'm learning to give grieving room at gravesides and funeral homes, in my office over a dwindling box of Kleenex, or in a widow's overly warm living room as she laments the loss of a husband of 60 years. Over and over, I sit with people trying to make sense of their grief. People who don't need me to fix or rush or heal them. They need me to help them give their grief room. This book is a culmination of lessons learned from loss. I tell the story of one little sister who lost a big sister too soon and who had to learn the hard way that there is no skipping, avoiding, or going around grief. My story is not unusual. It is simply mine. It is not the same story that Roxanne's children, or her husband, or my parents, or Roxanne's friends would tell. We each only have one piece of the story, and this one is mine. My piece taught me about grieving room. I hope this story can help you. I hope it will give the grieving and those who love them permission to give sorrow the space it needs. I am 4 years old. I'm sitting in my big sister Roxanne's room, a small space carved into our unfinished basement, which she has painted yellow with a giant black Roxy and cursive writing on the wall. Roxanne is packing because she is moving away to go to university. She explains that she will come and visit, of course.